and candidates are in the final push to sway voters, and one key race is still very tight. We are talking about Arizona's Secretary of State. Polls have Democrat Katie Hobbs leading Republican Steve Gaynor by just over 1 percentage point. So obviously that is within the margin of error. Spencer Blake is here in studio with me now, and we're hearing from both candidates today. What are they saying ahead of Tuesday's big race?
Well, you know, Chris, Secretary of State is the chief elections officer of the whole state. So election security and campaign finance were both talking points that each of them touched on today.
I'm running for Secretary of State, and you can trust that I'll be accountable to you.
The political ads will only last for a few more days.
Protect our elections and crack down on illegal voting. Steve Gaynor for Secretary of State.
Arizona Senate Minority Leader Katie Hobbs is facing off against businessman and Republican Steve Gaynor, who's never run for office before now.
This is someone who came out of nowhere and is trying to buy this seat. Nobody really knows why. He doesn't seem to have a good grasp of the Secretary of State's office.
He spent more than $2 million of his own money.
I think it's better for people to feel that I'm not beholden to anybody. When I get up in the morning, the only thing I answer to is the guy I'm looking at in the mirror.
Gaynor says his opponent is outspending him with money that comes from out of state. Hobbs is making promises of investigations and enforcement referrals when it comes to dark money violations.
I believe that voters have a right to know who's trying to influence our elections.
Meanwhile, radio ads claim Gaynor wants federal law changed so that ballots only have to be provided in English. His response? He'll follow federal voting laws and have fair, proper elections for everyone involved.
The Secretary of State doesn't print ballots, the county people do. As Secretary of State, I would oversee the county to make sure they followed the law.
I think what's at stake in this election is ensuring that Arizonans have elections that are secure, fair, and efficient.
And a lot of people have wondered why Gaynor would spend millions of his own money for a job that pays, what, 70 to 80 grand a year. He says he's not looking for a financial return, but rather a return in public service. So we asked, hey, does that mean you're planning a bid for governor? Gaynor said when he decided to run for Secretary of State, the governor's office was not on his mind.